why not? Okay, guys, so starting with our jumping jacks, 30 of them, either step touch or jumping, whenever you're ready. Here we go. Whew. All right, 30. Going into our stretches, looking over your right shoulder. Back to center, looking over your left shoulder. Back to center, tilt that right ear down towards your right shoulder. And opposite side, left ear down towards the left shoulder. Back to center, head rolls. Now let's do 3 around to the right and 3 around to the left. Get all the cracks out. Take your time, keep your eyes open. Don't get dizzy. 3, and then reverse direction. And once you reach 3 and 3, head comes back to center. Let's move down to our shoulders. Shoulder rolls up, down, and forward. And start adding those elbows. And then full arm circles all the way around forward. Let's do 2 more. Okay, reverse. Shoulders first, up, down, and back. And elbows. And then full arm circles all the way up, around, and back. Two more. And taking the arms out to the side, let's cross them over in front. Alternate which arm is on top. Do 3 more. And shake out that upper body. Moving it down to our hips. Hip hinges, feet underneath your hips. Hands on your hips, knees unlocked. Hinging forward, keeping that chest up. Stretching out the hamstrings. Two more. And back up to standing. Take it really wide now for our side tilt. Toes are pointed out to the side. Push your right hip up and back. Both legs straight if you can. And then opposite side. Left hip up. Push into it, deep breath. And back to center, walk your feet in couple steps. Walk those toes in a little bit. We're gonna do hip circles. So around forward side, back side. Let's do 3 each direction. Keep the legs as straight as you can. If you need to do a little bit of knee bend, that's okay. 3, and then reverse. And once you get all the way back to center, take those feet all the way back in, knees unlocked, hands come to your kneecaps. We're gonna do our knee dips down and around. Down and around to the right, couple, keep those heels on the ground. And then reverse, down and around to the left. Do 2 more. I'm just gonna let Miss Win in the room. There you go. Okay, up to standing. Moving on to our calf stretch. So a nice wide lunge stance. For this one, back heel stays straight and your back leg is straight. we're gonna bend and extend the front leg. So different than the runner stretch, this one's specifically just for that calf, keeping that back leg straight with the heel on the ground. Two more. And then switch around opposite side. Get that stance first, make sure you're balanced, and then bending, extending that front knee. Back leg is straight. Feel that in the back calf. Let's do two more. And then bringing feet back together, ending with our ankles. So pointing and flexing with our right foot first. And then circles around to the right. And then reverse around to the left. And then switching sides, point and flex, left foot. And then circles around to the left. And then reverse around to the right. Feet together, shake it on out. And tonight we are gonna start with an exercise with 4 sets, and we're gonna end with an exercise of 4 sets. Everything in between is gonna be our normal 3 sets, but we got our big ones at the beginning and at the end tonight. So our first exercise, you're just gonna need your dumbbells. It is gonna be a combination movement, but we're gonna do both things together. So a pair of dumbbells. We are gonna do a combination of a bicep curl and a squat at the same time. We'll get our thinking out of the way too. It's the only combination move I have for tonight. Okay, so when you're doing a combination of your squat and of your bicep curl, think everything bends at the same time. So as you sit back in your squat to bend your knees, that's when you're gonna bend at your elbows and do your bicep curl, okay? So it looks like this. I sit back, I bend my elbows, I'm curling up. So at the bottom of my squat, I'm all the way up at the top of my bicep curl. I'm uncurling my arms as I stand back up, okay? So bend, elbows bend, knees bend, and then they extend together as well. So this is your starting and finishing position with the dumbbells by your side and your feet straight and standing up tall. You can either keep your arms like this the whole time. It's gonna make you kind of go a little wide with your arms on your squat. You'll see what I do is I start kind of neutral, and then as I'm going down in my squat, I rotate my arms back up towards my body. Okay, let's go for it. We're gonna go for a round of 10 of these. So starting in our starting position, bend at the elbows and bend at the knees. We're squatting all the way down, and we're reversing. We're coming all the way up. That's 1. Going for 10, sitting as far back as we can, pushing those knees out. Weight back in those heels. Double duty. Push those knees out. Weights come all the way up to the shoulders. And once you reach your 10, you can set your weights down, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Hopefully round 1 went okay. It wasn't too much thinking for you. Once you get the motion down, you will feel less awkward. So if you find yourself doing the opposite the first round, it will come to you. The key though is to make sure that you're still keeping good form with both. So don't mess up your squat because you're focusing on your curl. And don't forget to do your bicep curl because you're focusing on your squat. So a lot of things going on. Just think at the very end of my squat, my hands should be all the way up by my shoulders. And I should be as low as I can go in my squat. And then when I come back to standing, my arms should be all the way down and my legs should be straight. Trying to get those both motions going together. And we're doing 4 rounds of it. So we're getting a lot of them in. So here we go. We're going into round 2. Toes are slightly out to the side. Here we go. Curling up as we squat down, uncurling and standing. Second round of 10. And don't forget to breathe. Same thing. Once you reach that 10, weights down, shake it on out. Arms and legs together. Halfway through this first exercise, remember it's with four sets. All righty, we ready for round 3? I think you guys are. All right, grab those weights. Make sure those feet are a little wider than your hips. Make sure your toes are slightly out to the side too. Make sure you're not too straight forward, okay? Knees go out, arm comes up. Here we go, round 3. Combo motion. Bend those knees and elbows together. Once you reach those 10, same thing, weights down. Take another little rest. We're gonna do one more. Hopefully by this 4th round, everything's gonna be nice and warmed up for the rest of what we're doing tonight. Shake it on out. My upper body is really tight today. You can't tell for some reason. Everything I'm doing today is like, feels extra tight. Maybe that's how everyone feels after Mondays. Maybe it was Monday. Maybe I did it to myself. All right, guys. Last time through, squat and curls. Here we go. Set 4. Squat and curl. Last time through 10. All right. Good news is once you reach those 10, set those weights down off to the side. You guys are gonna get a break from using them for a little bit. In our next series, we're gonna grab our bands. So grab onto your band, and we're gonna focus on 2 different types of rows, okay? So some back-to-back rowing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a regular bench over row for 10 repetitions. We're gonna stand up, still holding the band in that same position. And we're gonna do 10, go right into 10 upright rows, okay? So I'm gonna demonstrate both of those first while you guys are getting your band situated. So you're gonna be standing on your band, 2 feet, hip width distance, knees are unlocked. So for our first round, we're bent forward. So hinging forward at the hips like we did in our warm-up, back is flat, and you're gonna crisscross your band, okay? So you're making an X. So I swapped handles. Always make sure the band is what's crossed and not you, okay? So you should never cross your arms when you go through the exercise. You always stop here, okay? So the bent over row, we're gonna stay in this bent over position, elbows back, squeeze our shoulder blades together. We're gonna do 10 there, okay? Then as soon as we do 10, we're gonna come up to standing, holding the band in the same position. I'm just gonna move so you guys can see me. We're gonna go right into 10 upright rows. This is the one where we lead with the elbow, kind of like that scarecrow looking thing. Hands come up to about your chest, driving up here, okay? So it's gonna be a whole lot of pulling, 10 and 10, and then once we reach 10 on both, that's when you're gonna come off the band. We're gonna take our rest in between. So 10 bent over, stand up, 10, straight into 10 upright. All right, this time you guys are gonna come with me. So getting ourselves set up for the bent over rows, 2 feet on, hinge forward, flat back position, bent over position, X marks the spot. Here we go. First 10 bent over. Exhale, squeeze. Elbows back. Once you guys reach that 10, coming right up to standing, we're going right into 10 upright rows, straight up the body. Elbows up. Once you reach the 10 upright rows, that's where you can come off the band. Take your break. Shake out the arms if you need to. We're gonna be doing 3 sets of this. Now, if you felt on your first round that your upright row, if that was really tough in that same position, I'm gonna show you just a quick adjustment to do on the second time through. Because we're a bit stronger in the muscles that we use for a bent over row than the muscles that we use for an upright row, okay? So what you can do is right after you're done with your bent over row, when you come to standing, if you need to do a little bit of moving your feet closer together, that's gonna take a little bit of tension off the band, okay? If that's still too much, like if you're here, if you're not getting past your belly button with your upright row because it's too much tension, just quickly throw a foot out of the loop and just do it with one move, okay? So I know that the upright row is a little bit more taxing than the bent over one, so if you need to do a quick adjustment, but I still want us to try to go kind of right from one into the next, but you can make an adjustment for that. Okay, keeping that in mind, if you need it. If you don't need it, then don't make it easier on yourself, of course. Here we go, second round through, so bent forward, make that X, flat back, elbows back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. First 10 are bent forward. Keep that chest up though. And then if you need to make a small adjustment before you go into your upright rows, do it quickly, and then right back into those rows. And once you reach 10 and 10, put that band down, take a quick rest. You need to grab water, do it. Shake out the shoulders. It's hard sometimes when we're doing exercises like that not to build tension in our neck, but try to avoid this. If you're feeling like that's happening, like give yourself a good couple shoulder rolls right now. Try to release tension from your neck. Keep it in your back if you can. Just a quick reminder of that whole mobility, stability part that we talk about. Remember, it's the middle of your back that you always want to move. Keep up here pretty stable. Keep up here pretty stable. That means don't move it. Focus on that middle back doing most of your motion, especially if you were feeling any of that in your low back. All righty, guys, round 3. This one's only for 3. We're about to get after it. Get over into our bent over position, make that X, flat back, chest up, shoulders down. Last 10 bent over rows. Come to that standing position. If you need to remove your feet, do that quickly, and let's get right into those upright rows. Woo. Once you guys finish the last 10 upright rows, you can feel free. Set your band down to the side. Catch your breath. Moving into these next exercises, this is when you're gonna need the chair. So you're gonna need a chair, and then you're also gonna need something that can prop your feet up a couple inches. So if you have like a book that you don't mind putting your toes on, that would be good. I'm actually going to demonstrate this with a brick because that's what I have in my garage right now. But something like this, something maybe that's just like a little bit. I'm going to teach you guys something called a seated calf raise. I'm going to demonstrate the exercise first, And then I'll give you guys a moment if you need to grab something so you can kind of see what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be sitting down. We're going to prop our toes, our heels on the ground and our toes up on whatever object we have. And it really could be anything that can prop your toes up, okay? Heels on the ground, toes up. We're going to put our weight right at the kind of like right above our kneecap. So obviously don't set the weight directly down your kneecap. That's not going to feel nice, but right above them, okay? From here, we're going to come up onto our toes, squeeze, and then we're going to lower our heels back down to the mat, okay? So we're going to lift up, squeeze, we're going to lower back down to the mat. So you want something that's enough that you can go through that range of motion. So it could be something, it doesn't have to be quite as high as this brick. It could be just a book, or it could be something that's just, like I said, that's about the amount of tension you're going to put on it. So give you guys another second if you need it. We are going to be pairing this with some standing dumbbell lateral raises. So we'll stand in between, but you don't need any other equipment for that. Okay. Hopefully everybody's got something or you're close to figuring it out. So we're sitting in our chair. We're sitting on the edge. Heels are down. Toes are up. I keep moving myself on my chair, so I'm going to move my object. Dumbbells are right at the tops of our knees. We're sitting up tall, and then we're coming up onto the balls of our toes, squeeze, and then we're slowly lowering back down. We're going to do 12 of these. So up, squeeze, lower the heels all the way down. Up, squeeze, slowly lower down. Up, squeeze, and down. Make sure you're breathing. You can hear my ankles cracking. Well, once you guys reach your 12, just make sure you bring your toes off of your object, bring your weight back before you come up to standing. Our second exercise, we're going to be doing standing lateral raises. So our arms are going to be coming out to the side, knees are unlocked, feet are hip width distance. We're coming out to chest height. We're slowly coming right back down, okay? We're gonna do 12 of these as well. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. Slight bend in your elbows. And once you reach 12, you can set your weights down. Take a little bit of a breather here. And if you have the option of using heavier weights, depending on how you felt that first time through with calf raises, this exercise specifically, you could probably handle a little bit more weight on. So if you have heavier dumbbells, maybe try them out. I can't use my heavier dumbbells for my lateral raises, but I can use them for my calf raises. Hopefully you guys all found an object too. This brick, I actually have not done this before with a brick, but you know what? A brick is a really good object to do this with. So for future reference, go get yourself a brick. That's all you need for fitness equipment. All righty, here we go, round two. So our heels are down, our toes are up, our weights are right above our kneecaps. We're sitting up tall. We're coming up onto our toes, squeeze, slowly lower down. Another thing to note is I'm not moving forward and back with my my torso, okay? So that stays put, so I'm not like doing a rocking motion. So keep your chest exactly where it is and just move at your ankles so that you're feeling that weight getting loaded onto your toes, onto those calves as you're coming up on your toes, right? Too much talking, don't know where I'm at now. I'm just gonna do a couple more. The goal is 12. And once you reach that 12, or what maybe feels like 12, remember bring your feet off your object before you try standing. And we're gonna go into that second round, lateral raises, slight bend in the elbow, arms coming straight out from your chest. Shoulders down. Once you reach your 12, set those weights down, shake out those arms. Remember, always with those exercises, think like halfway through, if you're going for 12, at number 6, check your shoulders and check your elbows. Did your elbows lock out? If they did, unlock them. And are your shoulders starting to go up to your ears? If they did, relax them down. Super easy when we do shoulder exercises to create tension where it doesn't need to be. So I usually think halfway through your set is a good time to check your form and make sure you're doing it correctly. Okay, guys, we got one more set through to go with these calf raises, seated calf raises. All right, so heels are down, toes are up. Bring those weights right above the kneecaps. Sit up nice and tall, nice tall torso, up onto the toes, all the way back down on the heels. Make sure the heels tap all the way back down, so you're getting that full range of motion every time. And for 12. And once you guys get those 12, coming on up, we're gonna do last set through with our lateral raises. I'm just gonna move my brick out of the way. All right, here we go. Last time through lateral raises. Remember, unlock the elbows, keep the shoulders down. Once you reach 6, check that form. And once you guys reach 12, little break here. You need to rearrange your space. Make sure you move your chair back. We won't need it for the next set of exercises, and you actually won't need your dumbbells. We're going back to the band. So little equipment swap here. All righty. Back to the band. So we're gonna do 2 more band exercises. Both of these it's gonna have a right and a left, okay? The first one is gonna be one that many of you guys have done with me before, our monster walk. But I will demonstrate what those look like. So you are gonna be standing on your band, at least hip width distance, if not a little bit further apart. You're gonna make that same X like we made for our bent over row. So it kind of looks like you're getting into that position, but instead you're gonna come to standing and bring your hands to your hip bones, okay? So what you're doing here, this is a lower body exercise. You're just creating tension on the band, okay? And you wanna maintain tension the whole time. What we're gonna do is we're gonna unlock our knees, so a slight bend in our knees. We're gonna step out to the right, wide step, and we're gonna take a small step back in. So we don't come all the way back like feet together here. We keep tension on that band. We just take a wide step and then a small step. They're called monster walks because it's kind of, you end up doing some sort of Frankenstein looking walk, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go alternating, not opposite, sorry. We're gonna step out to the right, we're gonna take a small step in, and then we're gonna go out to the left, and we're gonna take a small step in. So we're gonna end up doing 10 each side. So you can either count to 20, or if you wanna count 1, 1, 2, 2, whatever makes more sense in your brain is absolutely fine, but it's 10 each side. So here we go. Knees are bent, hands are up to our hips, our feet are hip width distance. We're gonna take wide steps, small step, and then opposite side. Wide step, small step. Back and forth, keeping that slight bend in our knee. Doing our Frankenstein dance, getting us ready for Halloween. wide and then small. Remember, don't let those feet come back in and touch. Keep tension the whole time. All right, once you guys get 10 and 10, give you guys a second here. You're gonna come off the band and we're gonna do another right and left exercise. They're called side bends. So with the side bend, you're gonna drop one handle on the ground. So I'm holding onto one side of my band and I'm gonna step on the band with that same foot. So if it's in my right hand, my right foot is stepping on the band. Now I wanna kind of step pretty close. It should be pretty tense when I'm stepping on the band. The other foot can kind of be slightly behind just so it's not in the way. From here, the other opposite hand that doesn't hold the band is gonna be on your hip. You're gonna reach down the side of your leg, reach down towards your kneecap, and then you're gonna pull and come back to standing. So obviously the closer that you stand to your handle, the more tension you're gonna feel in this side bend in our oblique. So after the first one or two, kind of feel it out. See, does this feel challenging enough or do I need to make this a little harder? We're gonna be doing 15 each side. So you might also maybe wanna wait until after maybe 5 of these to decide if you can keep that tension for 15, but thinking you've got a wall in front of you, a wall behind you, going right to the side. Bending and squeezing at the oblique. And once you reach 15 on one side, you're just gonna switch sides. So just make sure you push the handle out of the way. And you wanna try to create kind of the same amount of tension if you can. Don't make it like drastically different from right to left, right? Get yourself in position and then reaching down towards the outside of your kneecap, coming back up to standing. Kind of looks like the I'm a little teapot. If it helps to keep your hand kind of on your oblique too, if you want to kind of feel that crunch happening, you can do that as well. Make sure you're bending there. Remember, going for 15. And then rest. Now, for those of you guys that are super zealous and that side bend didn't feel enough for you, I'm just gonna show you. You can actually do this with 2 handles. Standing on your band holding with 2 handles and you're gonna get double the resistance. So say you only have 1 band at home and you don't feel like it's strong enough, you really weren't feeling it, you could try doing it. You just gotta really make sure you're stepping on both of those pieces of rubber so that band doesn't come back up towards you. But if anybody was needing an extra challenge in those, there you have it. That's the way to do it. But back to our monster walks before we get back into those bends. We got 10 monster walks each side. So hip width distance to start, bend forward, make that X, bring those hands up to your hips, make sure you've got that tension, shoulders down, keep that bend in your knee. And here we go, we're doing 10 each side, wide step, small step. Obviously the wider your steps are, the more you should feel this. You're gonna feel this a lot in your hips and in your glutes. Make sure your knees are staying over your feet too. You're not just reaching out with your toe. You might feel like you're stomping a little bit, that's okay. And once you guys get 10 each side, get yourself set up for your side bend. Just turn my light on because it's getting a little dark here. The darkness is coming. Ooh, maybe that's a little too much. Too much. Too much light. Okay. Side bend. So either 2 handles or 1 handle, whatever tension you need. But here we go. 15 aside. Reach down the side of that kneecap. Pull, come back up to standing. Fifteen and 15. Whoa, then if you did the 2 handle method, there is definitely a difference between 2 handles and 1 handle. Or double the rubber band. All right, guys, once you finish your 15 each side, is there a moment, take a little bit of a break. We have 1 more time to go through these, both our monster walks and our side bends. If you need to unbend yourself in different ways, you can. If you need to shake it out, always feel free to stretch in between if you need to. Break through your time. All right, and if we're ready, let's get right back into those monster walks. 2 feet on the band. Make sure you're securely standing on that band 2 feet, always. Make that X, hands come to your hips, knees are bent, stepping out, stepping in. Back and forth, right and left. Don't let your feet come any closer than hip width distance. Try to even out your steps if you can, even if you have a stronger side. All right, once you get 10 and 10, you guys know what's coming. Side bend. Get yourself set up. Reaching down to the outside of that kneecap, pull to standing. Last time through 15 each side. Fifteen one side, 15 the other side. Last one, guys. Do some core work in today. Remember, imagine that wall's in front of you, that wall's behind you. Don't let yourself twist with this. Keep it nice and flat. All righty. Once you guys reach your 15, you can put your bands away. You won't need them. For our last exercise, take a little bit of a breather here. Let you guys finish up. So we've made it to exercise number 8. So like I said at the beginning, our first exercise, we started with 4 sets of an exercise. We're ending tonight with 4 sets of an exercise. We're ending with this because they're slightly horrible. So we don't have to do absolutely anything after we're done with these. Those of you guys that have done them before, you know they're not so awesome, but they're very effective. We are going to do diamond push-ups, okay? Now, even if you're not very good at push-ups, you are going to be able to do these. My suggestion is these are a harder style of push-ups. Your hands are going to be forming a diamond shape. This is what your hands do when you do a diamond push-up. They're still straight out from your chest. Now, difference in a diamond push-up is when you come down in your push-up, your elbows come right into your side, okay? So it's also kind of a tricep push-up, okay? So it's in our regular push-up, a lot of times we have a gap. We let our elbows come out to the side, not on these guys. On these guys, we come right in super close. So you're almost like making a heart. Your hands should come right to your chest. Elbows are nice and close. You're pushing up and away. So because they're a little bit more challenging than a standard push-up, however you do your normal push-up, maybe make it a little bit easier. So if you normally do them on the ground, maybe do them on your knees, or do them to a chair, or do them to a taller height, countertop, or even like wall. Even if you need to do these against the wall, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna demonstrate them real quick for you. We're doing them in sets of 10, okay? So we've got 4 sets of 10 of these, and then we are done. So I'm gonna set my hands right out from my chest. I'm gonna position my chest right over that diamond. I'm gonna lower myself all the way down. My elbows come right next to my side. I'm gonna push myself up and away, okay? That's the motion. You wanna hold that plank the whole time. Don't cave, okay? You're gonna feel like you wanna collapse. If you're really unable to hold that body position, just bring yourself up another level. Get a higher countertop, get a higher place to do them, just so you can get that full range of motion. I want everybody's hands to come all the way to their chest and come all the way back out, okay? I just need to move my mat a little bit. My chair was a little uneven there. That wouldn't have felt great. All right, hopefully everybody found their position. We're gonna go for it. We got 4 rounds of these. First round of 10, hands are right underneath your chest, elbows are close. Here we go, breathe. You guys got it, 10. We're doing 4 sets of them. This is just the first round. Don't burn yourself out on round 1. Once you get done, stand up, shake the arms out, okay? These are super hard, but they work so many things. 1 is you're holding a plank, so you're obviously getting some core work. 2, you're working your shoulders. 3, you're working your triceps. You're working so many things. These are actually a really effective tricep exercise too. So for those of you guys that wanna find something for this part of your body, unfortunately it's these. All right, shake it on out. 3 more rounds. Let's not waste too much time. Let's get into our round 2. Let's get ourselves in that position. If it's still super hard, take your feet a little wider. Don't keep them so close together. You can still hold plank with a wide foot position. And let's do second round of 10. Here we go. Elbows close. And shake them out. You guys got it. Remember, I'd rather have you make it easier and get through full range of motion than kind of do like a half motion. Halfway. We just got to do this 2 more times, guys. 2 more times and then we're done. We get to cool down. So I put them at the end. Don't have to worry about doing anything else after this. Your arms don't have to worry about doing anything else after this. How about that? All right, here we go. Round 3. We can do it. Take a big inhale, core tight. Shake it out. That was round 3. How are we feeling? It's getting harder each round, right? This is going to be the hardest round of all. It means it's the most important round. Don't worry, we'll do some extra tricep stretching, shoulder stretching tonight afterwards. We might need a little bit. All right, guys. At your own time, whenever you're ready, you got one more set of 10. As soon as you're ready for it, let's get it done. Recovery's on the other end of these 10. Be over before you know it. Woo! Those are not the most fun. It's better when we do them together. Nice job, guys. Once you finish that last 10, sorry, I'm trying to figure out this lighting situation. It's either too bright or not enough. Give you guys a moment. Let's meet in seated position. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to start with our arm stretches. Let's start with our tricep stretch. Stretch it on out. So right arm all the way up by your ear, bend it on back like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. You can either grab your tricep from in front, push it back, or if you want to reach over your head and grab your elbow, pull it back, whatever feels right for you. So let's give a good stretch for that tricep. And breathe. And then let's release the right arm down. Let's do the same thing with the left. All the way up, bend it on back like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. And you can push that arm back, either grabbing the elbow or pressing from in front. And release that left arm all the way up and down. We're gonna do a couple wrist stretches as well. So let's extend our right arm out with our palm up, our arm stays straight. Grab your fingertips with your left hand and then gently pull back. Just so you feel that gentle stretch from your wrist up your arm. Shouldn't be super painful, but if you've been in a typing position all day, you might be feeling this a little bit more. And then let's switch hands, opposite hand, left hand, palm up, pulling back with the right hand. And then relaxing that hand. Let's take both hands now. You can bring your hands to your lap. You're gonna put the backs of your hands on your legs and just lean forward a little bit. We're just doing the opposite stretch. So flexing at our wrist. You kind of just do that by leaning into your legs, obviously. Just lean enough so you feel that stretch. And then let's come up and let's just do a couple wrist circles. And then reverse your direction. Shake it on out. Let's move down to our shoulders. So bring that right arm across the body. And then switch arms. And then taking both arms behind your body, clasping your hands together, open up your chest, pull those shoulders down. It's a good opportunity to do some of those neck stretches again. Whatever feels good. And then release, let's push our arms forward. And then coming back up to seated. We're working all kinds of backwards tonight. Let's extend our right leg out, heel down, toe up. Let's end with our leg stretches. And then switch sides, left leg out, heel down, toe up, leaning forward, flat back. And then coming back to center, let's do your hip opener. So either ankle on ankle, opening up the hip, or bring that foot above your knee, sitting up tall. You can even lean forward a little bit. Feel that deep stretch up here for me, no glute. And then switch sides when you're ready. This is another great one to do like halfway through your day if you have a desk job or if you're sitting most of the day. Probably most of us right now, honestly, so it's kind of probably doesn't matter what your job is, right? We're probably sitting most of the day, so we should all be doing these throughout the day. All right, back up to sitting. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out, making it through to the end. Have a great rest of your night. Go ahead and sign up for that class on Saturday if you're interested, and I will see you guys